Stop what you're doing for a second, because what Todd Bowles just said about one of the Buccaneers' rising stars is raising eyebrows across the NFL. This isn't just another injury update or a routine press conference quote. This is about a cornerback, a young talent with all-pro potential, and a concern that could ripple through Tampa Bay's defense. Zion McCollum. On November 25th, during an interview with the Buccaneers radio network, Bowles spoke openly about his cornerback, and the words were surprising. He said, "McCollum is such a great athlete and a very good cover guy. Sometimes he gets bored trying to make a play, and then his technique will be lacking and he'll give up a play. He just thinks too much. He's got to settle down and play." Pause for a second. Did you catch that? Gets bored. At the highest level of football, at a stage where every play can swing a game, the coach is essentially saying this young star sometimes loses focus because he's bored. Now let's break this down. Bowles wasn't insulting McCollum. Far from it. He followed up immediately, emphasizing that the team has full confidence in him, calling him one of our best players. He's got the talent. He's got the speed. He's got the potential to be a cornerstone of this defense for years to come. But here's the tension. If a cornerback, a player who's supposed to thrive on challenge, who lives for big moments and game-changing plays, can get distracted mid-game, what does that mean for Tampa Bay? Is it mental fatigue? Is it technique slipping under pressure? Or is there a bigger concern lurking behind the scenes? Some could interpret Bowles' choice of words as a simple misstep. Maybe bored wasn't the right word. Perhaps what he meant was that McCollum occasionally loses focus, gets overthinking, or misreads a play. That's one way to frame it. But you can't ignore the optics. A coach publicly stating a multi-million-dollar star gets bored on the field? That's a headline waiting to explode. And the stakes couldn't be higher. McCollum is young. He's talented. He's just been signed to a contract that locks him in as a starter for the next several years. Tampa Bay is counting on him to lock down top receivers, to be the backbone of a defense that can win games in the playoffs. If his technique falters because of concentration lapses, it's not just a stat on a sheet, it's points, momentum, and potentially playoff dreams slipping through their fingers. Bowles' comments are a double-edged sword. On one hand, they show transparency, a coach acknowledging an area for growth in one of his best players. On the other, they shine a spotlight on a potential weakness that opposing quarterbacks and coordinators could exploit. And you can bet McCollum heard it too. How does a young star internalize hearing that he's bored on the field? This is the kind of quote that sparks debate, speculation, and concern. It's the moment where fans, media, and teammates start asking the hard questions. Can he snap out of it? Will this be a blip or a pattern? And most importantly, can Tampa Bay rely on him when the pressure is at its peak? Zion McCollum is one of the most exciting defensive talents in the league. But for the Buccaneers, and for Bowles, the clock is ticking. The focus, the discipline, and the execution have to be flawless. Otherwise, those flashes of brilliance could be overshadowed by lapses that no team can afford in today's NFL. But here's where things get even more tense. Let's be real, words matter. And when a coach says a player is bored on the field, it sets off alarm bells, not just for fans, but for teammates, the organization, and the media. Miscommunication can be harmless, but in this case, it could be explosive. If Bowles really meant bored, the implications are serious. How can a top-tier cornerback, someone being counted on to lock down elite receivers, let his mind drift mid-play? It's almost unthinkable. And it's hard not to flash back to a similar situation in 2022 with Devin White. White admitted that when his team dominated a game, he sometimes felt bored and less aggressive. That admission, at the time, became a talking point, and it didn't exactly help his reputation or leverage in contract negotiations. Now, McCollum is different. He's been paid, recently, and he's one of the cornerstone players of this Buccaneers defense. His salary, his role, his leadership, all of it hinges on him performing at the highest level, every single snap. And yet, Bowles' comments suggest there are moments where his technique slips, moments where focus falters, moments where he's distracted. Here's the bigger picture. The Buccaneers' cornerback room is thin right now. Jamal Dean is out, Benjamin Morrison is sidelined, and the responsibility on McCollum's shoulders has never been greater. He doesn't just have to cover his assignment. He has to hold the secondary together, step up as a leader, and make sure the defense doesn't crumble under pressure. There's no margin for mental lapses, no room for drifting, no luxury for boredom. It's a tightrope, and McCollum is walking it in plain sight. Every practice, every snap, every game matters. The team is watching. Opponents are watching. And the fans? They're watching, too, ready to critique, ready to panic. So what does this quote really mean? Was Bowles simply misphrasing, trying to say McCollum loses focus at times? Or is there a deeper concern about his mental approach to the game? Either way, the stakes are massive. Even a lack of focus at this level can cost games, swing momentum, and turn a promising career into a frustrating roller coaster for the team and the player alike. This isn't just commentary. This is a wake-up call. McCollum needs to rise to the occasion, not just for himself, but for the entire Buccaneers secondary. The spotlight is on him. The margin for error is razor thin, and the clock is ticking. The question now isn't just whether he can cover a receiver. It's whether he can focus, lead, and dominate when it matters most. Because if he can't, the consequences could be felt in every game this season, and that's a reality that no one in Tampa Bay can afford to ignore. Now, let's pause and really think about what Todd Bowles just said. This isn't just a casual remark to toss around. It's a loaded statement, full of implications. Is this a public warning to Zion McCollum? A way to nudge him? To shake him out of lapses before they become bigger problems? Or is it a genuine critique aimed at exposing a deeper mental hurdle that could impact the defense? Bowles' words put the spotlight squarely on McCollum. They force everyone to ask the hard questions. Can he stay locked in when it matters most? Can he control his focus under the pressure of a pro-level game? And more importantly, can he lead a secondary that's thin, injured, and relying on him to be the anchor? This isn't just about technique or talent anymore. This is about mental toughness, accountability, and the kind of football IQ that separates good players from great ones. Every cornerback has flashes of brilliance, but sustained excellence comes from staying in the moment, from reacting instantly, and never letting distractions creep in. And here's the catch. When a coach goes public like this, it sends a message not only to the player, but to the entire team. Bowles is saying, in essence, Zion, everyone's watching. I believe in you, but you have to step up. You have to own your role. It's a high-stakes, pressure-filled statement, one that can either ignite a breakthrough or add a layer of scrutiny that weighs heavily on a young player's shoulders. For fans, analysts, and even opponents, this creates tension. It's a glimpse behind the curtain, a rare insight into the internal struggles of a star player. McCollum is talented, no doubt, but talent alone won't win games. Focus, consistency, and mental resilience are just as critical. The coming weeks will be the true test. Every snap, every play, every read, it all matters. Zion McCollum has the tools, the speed, and the skill to dominate, but now the question is, does he have the mindset to match? This quote from Bowles is more than commentary. It's a challenge, a call to action. And the way McCollum responds could define not just his season, but the entire trajectory of this Buccaneers defense. The spotlight is on him, and the clock is ticking. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the story is far from over.